Hi you guys, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read. It's very cool again today. I got some beautiful messages here. I put out the 12 cards today too, just the one set of 12 cards. And I'm excited because I got a couple new decks in. Some were just replacement decks from my old decks that were kind of falling apart. But I have the Kipper deck and the Thoth deck, so I might pick a card for you guys. Actually, let me pick a card from Kipper. I did shuffle some already. Let's see what comes up for you guys. Just to start off the read. Kind of interesting to see because this deck has a lot of different energies than I normally have. All right, so, ooh, courtship. That's very much in the energies of the day today. So, and the bottom of the deck after I picked that was the main male. Oh, I think this deck's going to be a good one for me. This is nice because it clarifies some energies that I don't always get. So courtship in the main male. Nice. And let's pick one from Thoth too. I literally just got them in. I just shuffled them some and I even have the instructions still in there. That shouldn't be there. So for the Thoth deck, let's see what comes up from Thoth as it falls apart. I don't know these cards at all, so I'm just going to see what I get from the impression. See, they do have a word on them, so they're kind of choppy. What do they want? All right, so we have Dominion. So see how that comes up for you. It's interesting because it's the Ace of Wands wants to come up with it too. Beautiful colors, right? And it's interesting because they're not all these colors only. Because the picture I had done from Starlight of me and my twin was very much of these colors. Very interesting because the deck isn't, there's a lot of oranges, but there's a lot of non-orange cards too. So that's really kind of dominant. There's a little bit of green in there too, yellows and oranges, and a little bit of green. And the Ace of Wands, very much passion. All right, let's see how that goes. I'll look at them a little bit in a little while. I want to kind of break into the read first before I look into them more and feel into those pictures. I want to get into the read for you first. It is August 24th, 2019. The 24 is the Queen of Wands. Again, the Queen of Wands is the Wands energy, which is very physical and fiery, creative. Someone who is popular, someone who, an actor, someone who's very beautiful, all of those physical attributes and energies. Also, it's Omega, the 24th letter of the alphabet, of the Greek alphabet, so that's coming up as well. And the day adds up. 24 is a 6, by the way. 4 plus 2 is 6, so that's the love, home, family, and community energy. But also for me in numerology, the 4 is the soul number and the 2 is the outer personality number, so in 24. So the soul being very structured as the number 4 is kind of interesting because although 4 is the heart chakra of the 4th chakra, but 4 in numerology has to do with structure and stability, and yes, your heart is your stability, but that's not what 4 means in numerology. 4 has to do with the early stages of manifestation, building, those kind of things, stability and structure. So it has to do with survival in 3D as opposed to manifesting your dreams, which is more of the number 8. So someone being very structured on the inside like that and responsible can limit them as far as freedom and expansion, okay? So 4 is very different from 5. 5 is very much of expansion and freedom. And then the 2 is the feminine energy, the back and forth, the good mediator, but they, as an outer personality number, it can be wishy-washy too. Someone who doesn't always want to make decisions. They always see both sides of the situation, but may not be as focused as that masculine energy. And so you have someone who's very structured, then with the wishy-washy energy on the outside, it can just be limiting, is what I'm trying to say. So the day adds up to 44-8, which is that master number. It's the Four of Cups. It can be a card of boredom, but it's also just grounding, integrating, and mastering. So boredom is there for a reason. It's time to integrate what you've just learned or the experiences you've just been through. So those are the energies of the day. The Four of Cups, and it can just be ignoring love offers too, things that come into you that you're not interested in. It's the same old, same old. It's not enough for me. It's not what I like. It's not what I'm attracted to. It's kind of that energy of not being satisfied, feeling sorry for yourself as well. So that kind of day with the Queen of Wands, which is very fiery energies. So I don't know how that might play off, but let's see how it goes with the read. So the Sirian Starseed deck, which is my main deck, the big cards here, they were cut at 9/18, which is the Moon and the Hermit energy, the 9 energies of compassion, selflessness, and endings. The full read was done at minutes 9:38, 39, 40, and that's the King, not the King of Cups. King of Cups is 37, but the read actually ended at 37, so that was very cool. And actually the last card of the clarifiers is the King of Cups upright as well. So 38 is the Queen of Cups, 39 is the Knight of Cups, and 40 is the Page of Cups. So the Queen, the Knight, and the Page of Cups. Beautiful energy that started this read, along with the Hermit of the 9. The major arcana were Indigo and Alchemy. Indigo is like the Magician in this deck, and Alchemy is the Temperance card in this deck. Before the read, Karma and Abundance came up, which is the Judgment card, and the Empress. They were both reversed. There were 4 wands, 1 cup, 3 pentacles, and 1 sword in the read today. So mostly wands, so all about physical action. And then the cups and swords were least. So the mental stuff, the worrying stuff being in your head, and then the cups of being emotional was very much on the lower side today. And then pentacles was high too. We had 3 pentacles and 4 wands. The court cards were the Knight of Pentacles, and that was it in the main read. Before the read was the Page of Orbs or Swords, and after the read was the Page of Cups. The numbers in the code line for this read were all about love and rebirth, so really beautiful energies. And rebirth is a lot like the Tower energy. And I wanted to bring this up too, that all the numerology cards, the underlying cards were orange, the cards that were pulled were all blue. We have love, rebirth, and forgiveness. And there were all 6s there too. Love is 6, rebirth is 16, forgiveness is, what is forgiveness? I forget. Is 96. There's another 6 in there, and then the underlying energy was self-love, which is 61. So every number had a 6 in it, except for the one underneath the underlying energies, which really isn't what's been pulled today, so it's not relevant. So about love and rebirth, the numbers were double 2s were important, and less so double 5s and double 6s. So 2, 2, 5, 5, 6, 6. The code line was all about the number 9. So that's important because when I have all the numbers from the read, the one number that's missing is the 9. And the code line also added to the number 9. So 9 is very significant today. And the Sirian deck was cut at 9/18. So very much about that energy. The code line added, though, to 531, which is interesting. I don't always get triple-digit numbers on the code line. And it was coming from 524 and the number 7. So 7 and 9 were also important in this read because they come up again later in the read. So again, about love and rebirth. Right at that point, the sun brightened outside, and it was 9:46 to 47, which is the children in the garden and the heaven in their eyes, the 7 of Cups. So that was very beautiful as well. So the code about love and rebirth was all about the shadow and the light. And if you've been listening to my videos each day, Lou and Sophia came up as the masculine being in his shadow, or the Lou, as opposed to his God energy, until he comes into union with his divine feminine. So the Lou Sophia, that contrast was coming up again. And if you notice, Lou Sophia is like Lucifer, which was really cracking me up, actually. And then So La Ti Do is coming up. So the whole scale came up yesterday, but I was shown to be focused on the So and the La today. Do, Re, Mi, Fa, So, La. All right, so So and La are 5 and 6. Okay, and that's the sweet spot. But as I told you the other day, 7 is the sweet spot for the star seeds and the twins, as far as the scale, a little bit above the center, more toward the light. And then So La Ti Do would be the middle to the upper range of the scale. So the Divine Masculine heart in the coding here is toggling up to the Sophia. Sophia is the collective feminine consciousness. The Divine Feminine within the Divine Masculine, the human, and then I was just getting one eye, like a wink, and a kiss and a hug of love and rebirth. The love of Sophia and the Hierophant, the High Priestess, saving and grounded the Divine Masculine's heart, and the Chariot of Cinderella coming forth with a kiss and a hug, love and rebirth. And that very much, it's so cool that the courtship card came up along with that, and the code line is all about the Cinderella's chariot coming in. Also turn left, so for the masculine to turn left, the feminine, the higher consciousness, to Sophia, to face the changes, to be the higher dog as opposed to the 3D dog, right? The higher dogs are Metatron and Michael, who let the dogs out, Metatron and Michael, but down here, you know, it's the human dog, right? So turn left to Sophia, the higher feminine, and change. The triangle is also delta to the higher dog, and delta is D, dog, okay? In the hour of crystals, of your crystalline embodiment. Also, the Divine Masculine's heart is filled with you, the Divine Feminine, keeping one eye open. He is human after all, happily ever after. All right, so the fairy tale continues. And as I started doing the read, I was getting nervous, so there's nervous energy coming from the masculine, but remember to see the other perspective. Nervous is the same as excited. So excited. So they're excited, and I'm so excited. I'm just getting that song coming through now. All right, so as we start the read at 10:01, I started writing this down. The 8 of Wands upright, and I can't find my little finger of God, which I'm sad because I love using my finger. Okay, but I'm going to show you the cards here. This is the Karma card, which is like the Judgment card, and then the 3 of Orbs, the Abundance card, and then the Page of Swords or Orbs here. And then this is the 8 of Flames or Wands. So with the 8 of Wands upright there, and then the Karma card, the 3 of Swords, and the Abundance card, which is like the Empress, were all reversed, along with the Page of Orbs, which was upright. Deliberation of poor judgment in lack consciousness, healing by spreading the word, expressing feelings back and forth, which is good. And that was at 10:04, and 10:04 came up yesterday, I believe it was as well. So receiving the message. There's deception before dawn, a new moon, or unbalanced sharing, inequity of twins and kids. The Queen of Cups reversed and the Page of Pentacles upright, along with the 6 of Wands reversed, the 10 of Pentacles upright, and the Ace of Wands reversed, the King of Cups upright, and the Hermit reversed. All that energy was coming up in one of the underlying energies. The Queen of Cups unhappy and crying over the Page of Pentacles, or an opportunity that may have been lost, or just an opportunity that fell under the radar, possibly with a wealthy or abundant family, or an opportunity of legacy, pending a new passion that's been held back, of the King of Cups. For the Hermit reversed, or coming out expressing feelings in an exchange. Somebody may be willing to swap spit, but no money, time, or energy offered at this time because of practical things. Or parents dealing with a student who's really smart and a good student, but no passion or drive for a family business they may want them to get into, or a legacy, or the child doesn't like their attention at all because they're shy. Or the Queen of Cups reversed and the Page of Pentacles are hiding out with an abundant family, and the King of Cups is holding back passions and frustrations to be love and come out of isolation. So holding back their third energy as a masculine so that they can come out and be unconditional love. And then when they're ready, come out of isolation. But maybe dealing with the Queen of Cups reversed and Page of Pentacles can be anyone, because the Page of Pentacles can just be an opportunity or invitation. The Queen of Cups reversed can be just someone who's really sad, or they could be tears of joy as well, but it's more about someone who's overly emotional and can be manipulative at times. So whoever that is for you with the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles is upright, so that can definitely be a child who's a good student. Or just someone who wants to learn how to manifest, or just got a new job, something like that. But the masculine also may be worried about someone who's over-isolating, or a professional looking down to see how far the fall is, and is it doable? Possibly a green platform, floating by the water or on water, blue and gold cord, the rod and staff, on a green platform, or choosing between the mountains, the countryside, or the beach. At the tail end of a drop, a walking stick, a cane, marks the spot. Cain and Abel, staking a home, or deciding which house to keep in a split situation. Or an opportunity for 3 generations of Divine Masculine, legacy already started, a son they never had, or Divine Feminine's dowry to her Divine Masculine, or 3rd generation professional. So adding to the family, 3rd generation, doctor, lawyer, etc. And this was at 1024. So 10 of the Wheel of Fortune, 24 of the Queen of Wands. So again, this can talk about brothers who are partners, 3 generations of men, so grandfather, father, and child, or new families coming together and now making that 3 generations that they never had before. So all of those kind of energies are coming up here. We turn the page to 1025, and 25 is the Knight of Wands as opposed to the Queen of Wands. So it's definitely that energy of the two of them, those 2 energies at play. And the 10, of course, the Wheel of Fortune. At the Y in the road, healing, forgiving, the Empress reversed for talking about their energetic exchange or their feelings. And so again, the Empress reversed can be anyone. It can be a mother, a mother-in-law, a grandmother, an aunt, as I'm losing my voice. So it's definitely one of those older people. But it can also be a karmic energy or the Divine Feminine. It just depends on your situation. But she's coming up reversed in lack here, along with a Page of Swords, which can just be communication, or it can be a child. And also someone who's at the Y in the road. Judgment reversed, someone who made a bad decision or a bad call. And then we also have the 3 of Orbs reversed, so someone healing and trying to forgive. But the Empress is reversed at that Y in the road, healing, forgiving, or it could be the masculine at that Y in the road trying to heal and forgive the Empress reversed for talking about their energetic exchange or feelings. The Fool reversed falls out of their ivory or dark tower, or explosion occurs, an eruption, thrown from a car, a building, or just plain blown away. Sudden revelations of moving to peace, being wise and being still and seeing new perspectives. Or someone literally fell and possibly getting a CT or an MRI, or a boating accident, or a stick in the bicycle spokes and then fell off, or cliff diving, so falling off on purpose. Cliff diving, bungee jumping, releasing all fears, speed junkies realizing they were just running from themselves and that being still was all they really needed, that new perspective. Ice castles, icebergs, and the icing on the wedding cake, cake and slippery slopes, a skiing accident, boarded off the hill, and lots of medical imaging, all due to the poles in the way. Polarity, the North Pole and South Pole. The pole is cold as hell. Better to be in the middle, the equator, the horizon line, moderate, balanced, sealed, 0 point. Energies pending corrections of deception and coming out soon to see new perspectives. And then the underlying energies here were a wedding, which just says the situation has to do with marriage. And underneath that's codependency. So having to do with letting go of codependencies and letting go of a marriage or going into a new marriage. But all alone, but not the masculine thinking of coming clean about the Queen of Cups reversed and their pain and betrayal of the Hanged Man, mitos, cross keys, wires crossed, branch of the family far from the trunk of the tree, cousins married, or crossing a distant relative, hexes and curses in the family lineage, and judgment of all of it. So then September 1st and October 6th were coming up, as well as June and December weddings. Towering divine infernos, the fool and the hermit blown away, losing their religions. Okay, so that's definitely referring to unions. Okay, so now it gets into some number stuff, download stuff that I was getting. So listen carefully. It's not all clear yet, so you tell me if you get things from it that I didn't, and comment below, but there was very significant information coming through here. So I had asked, since there's so many beginnings of the year, right? We have the calendar year, we have the galactic year in July, then we have the Jewish New Year in September, and there's many others depending on what country or culture you're in, right? So I was asking, what is the actual beginning of the year for us? And here's the answer. It was very interesting. So I was getting, first of all, from the cards, 2012 to 2020 that we've just been through. And it's also saying, don't forget that it's not the calendar year, so it's not just 1 year. It's 2012 to 13 or 2019 to 2020. So they just wanted you to be clear about that. So 2012 to 2020, so 2020 is clear vision next year. And also 2022 is coming up, as well as 2027 and 2030 as being significant years. October 7th and July 10th also came up. And so then I was asking again, when does the year start? You know, is it July, is it September, or is it something else? And then I wrote down 7/7 and 9/9. So those are obviously important dates. So 9/9 is always an important date in our journey as well. So that's significant for somebody as well. And then I was getting the message 9/10, which I always get in my code line, 9/10 begin again. That's the Jewish New Year, the end of September to October, and it changes each year. So this is what they were confirming to me. The actual human New Year is 9/10 begin again, the Jewish New Year, when kids go back to school. That August 8th or Lionsgate is actually graduation for you guys, and then it's time for vacation before the new year. So that's what the energy I was getting. And I was actually saying July 18th through August 8th is the time of graduation. It's like where you put in for graduation through the finalization, because it's not like a normal school graduation for you guys. It's like that end of the year part is grounding and integrating. So it's not whether you pass the test or not, it's whether you pass the grounding and integrating part and learn your lesson. So it's kind of interesting the way it was coming up. So again, what I got this week was August 8th of Lionsgate through 3344. In like a lion, out like a lamb. The 4/4 to 4/8 then, that period, is the grounding and integrating in order to begin again. The dawning, and then the triangle came up as the delta. The dawning, the delta of the age of Aquarius. First cards, so I pulled some cards about that. The first cards pulled and asking the first of the year was the King of Wands, the Temperance reversed, the Star reversed, the Five of Pentacles, and the Four of Cups. And so what I was getting from that is the King of Wands, they were telling me, is Lionsgate. So King of Wands references 8/8, right? He's the man of passion, definitely Leo energy. When the temperature drops, so it was telling me the start of the year is when the temperature drops and the kids are depressed because they have to go back to school and receive love whether they like it or not. The 14 and the 17, and then the 5 and the 4 equals a 9, which is September. And 54 and 45 were coming up in a calculation I did too, so that's important. That's 54 is the Page of Swords, so that's definitely a message. And the 45 is that 5 of Cups, of grieving, right? Passing the third baton to run the fourth leg of the race. So quarters were coming up as well. So it was confirming that September was actually the beginning. September to October is what they're actually saying, because it's always different each year. It's that, and it makes sense anyway, because October is the 1, right? And that's the 10, actually. It's the turn for the better. So underlying, just the bottom of the deck, when I pulled these cards, were underlying Justice reversed, the Hangman, 7 of Swords reversed, and the Judgment card reversed. Or in other words, kids stuck in class. Patience, healing, and the Hermit, in the numbers that I just told you prior to this, is the time of acclimation in order to change to winter hibernation. So it's an acclimation period between the summer, right, and growing again, but then going into the winter hibernation. So weddings they were telling me, are in December and June due to hibernation and vacation right afterwards. So, in December, then you have hibernation of the winter. And then in June, you then have the summertime of vacation time to take off. Between the 8/8 and the 2/2, because then I was getting Groundhog's Day, which actually my stepdaughter's February 2nd. 8/8 and 2/2, Groundhog's Day, the Lamb, and then it was giving me like the references to the different months after that. And you notice that 8/8 and 2/2 are 6 months apart, and that has to do with the eclipses. Between 8/8 and 2/2, Groundhog's Day, the Lamb, showers, and flowers, and then weddings in bloom for June, Independence, and then Christmas in July. The eclipse cycles, 6 months with quarterly check-ins, 90-degree angles. That's the quarters. And then I was getting the months as departments, times 30 degrees, right? So it's 12 times 30 is a 360 human embodiment, the full circle of source contained. Okay, or a dozen months is coming up as well, right? Six of one, a half dozen of the other, so that's coming up now. But I was also just getting, with the 360 degrees, 90-degree angles, and then the 30-degree angles, all of the numbers go into 360 except for the 7, right? Because you have 90 degrees times 4, 180 degrees times 2, 120 degrees times 3, 72 degrees times 5, 60 degrees times 6, 40 degrees times 9, 45 degrees times 8. So they all go into 360 evenly except for the 7. And they were showing me this because 7 is not human, it's galactic. It's your galactic connection. So that's the only number that doesn't go into 360 degrees, because 360 references a human, the human containment of source energy. Whereas galactic, or July, start of the year, is the galactic year. So you guys literally have a galactic year and the human year of September, and thus 8/8 is right in between the two. It's kind of referencing both of your parts, which is very cool. So before I turn the page, I want to tell you the signs and the court cards. The signs that were both upright and reversed were Cancer, Pisces, Taurus, and Libra. Virgo and Gemini were both reversed. Leo was reversed. Capricorn was upright. Aquarius reversed. Aries reversed. Scorpio upright. Sagittarius upright. And only in the underlying energy, the Hermit was upright and the Sun was upright, which they were not in the read. So just in the underlying energy, there was some very positive energy there. But the rest of the read, they were reversed. And then the Ace of Swords was also upright in the underlying energy, but reversed in the read. So all the aces today were reversed, except for the Ace of Pentacles, which is that new life, which is actually all-encompassing. So that's very good. The Kings were all reversed, except the King of Cups. The Queen of Wands was upright, and the Queen of Swords upright. The other two reversed. The Knight of Swords was the only knight upright, Knight of Swords. The pages, the upright pages were Page of Swords and Page of Pentacles. Of the 10s, the 10 of Swords was upright and the 10 of Pentacles was upright. But 10 of Cups reversed, 10 of Wands reversed. But that's good that was reversed. For 9, the 9 of Swords was upright. So unfortunately, 9 of Pentacles was reversed, but that doesn't have to be a negative thing. 9 of Pentacles reversed can be other things that are not negative. So, and then the 5 of Wands and the 5 of Pentacles were upright. The other two reversed. The Emperor and Empress were both reversed today. The 6 of Cups, the Children in the Garden, were upright. The 2 of Cups and Lovers, however, were both reversed, but not in a negative way. The 4 of Cups reversed, the 4 of Wands reversed, and then the 7 of Swords was also reversed. All right, so that's a positive. So we are going to go on now. Let's see where I am up to. Okay, before I show you the cards. So I was getting a calculation from some of the numbers in the cards that brought me up to also dividing 11 into 710, which comes up 64.54545 forever. And I told you 54 is the message. 64 is the 10 of Swords, and it's also the number before the next suit, the Pentacles, which is the end of the deck. That's the culmination. The King, the Master of Pentacles, is after 64, the worst card of pain, going into the most high card of manifestation, the King of Pentacles. But I was getting this number showing me that never nearing the end. So we have 64 of the 10 of Swords, 0.545454 forever. Never ending pain comes before the King of Pentacles, who's 65. So that was very interesting. It's always your choice to let go of the pain. However, we are human, so as long as we have human bodies, we're going to experience that expansion energy. However, you're being taught as twins to stay present, to minimize any expansion, stretching and difficulties, to stay in the present moment, and to stay as an observer as opposed to the active participant of judging or non-judging and just being, the spectator. So then I was getting, after the 7 being the galactic number and all the other numbers going into the 360 degrees of the circle or the human embodiment, and the circle then references pi as well, the centeredness of the human embodiment, which is pi. The 7 is galactic. The 8 is reserved for the dance, but the 9 is still human, September. So the nose, I was also getting in the cards at 11:26, I turned the page, Justice and the Page of Swords, the Page of Wands. The nose, the boobs, and the toes were coming up as a need for focus. Feet, ankles, and toes, but also the heels. And when I got to the heels, it was really them showing me the sole of the foot, because that's the soul. And the feet are connected to all the parts of the body, so the feet are always important, but I was being guided, they all need attention. The nose, or this also is where you guys are connected with your twin. The nose, the boobs, and the heart, that area. The toes, feet and ankles, and the heels. The heels were being shown to me very specifically. And then I was getting, the kid song, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. But specifically those 4 things, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. So it's saying to focus on the head and the calf basically down. I was getting XX and then X times 2, destined, October, and over by 12. So that can reference midnight or December, having to do with X's, coming back and leaving, or 2 X's completely out of your life. That kind of stuff was coming up as the fall season into December. Children tying karmic partners together, adults allowing their children to control them, while another person held hostage, held down, tied up, hung up, out to dry, left to feel the consequences of the hibernation before becoming a butterfly. So the divine masculine is coming up as whipped and tied, but then he in turn whips and ties the divine feminine, because there's always a mirror there. While in the big tent, the big top, the high top, learning a lesson, the divine feminine out on the grass and in home, pointed toes and nuts on the floor, souls avoiding, stepping on the bombshells, blown tops, broken glass. The land is mine, crown open, wounds healed. So it was bringing up all this stuff and energy, but what it comes down to is, when you land on the ground, when you land back on your feet again. And this is definitely the masculine saying, land is mine. So whether it's actual land or property, that was definitely coming up this read for the masculine, or just this land is your land, this land is my land, all right? So it's coming up as just, this world, this earth, this Gaia is ours. It's the masculine recognizing this is mine. And then crown open, leaving their crown open, and wounds being healed. The change, or the triangle, or the why I was seeing the triangle in a slanted way, or just like a Hershey's kiss, there's always a tip on the end that's kind of being blown one way. Why the kiss blows one way, where the wind takes them when the change, or the delta, comes in. The point is sharp, the soul gets hurt, the lid stays off, and that's referencing the crown. The children may share your human DNA, but souls share all ties, red flags of the bull, the BS. The calf to the toe is very important and highlighted here, a need for love and attention. Pick up the nuts, relax the toes, and leave the top off. And that was ultimately, again, referencing the crown. Leave it open. In isolation, the bride and groom separated before the wedding to hang out and relax and miss each other in coming together. Time to think about what you mean to each other, and I was getting definite connection when I wrote that. And write not vows, but expressing the feelings of the moment. The divine masculine with time to realize he doesn't want to live in the circus anymore. Hogtied, hostage, and in great pain and betrayal, can only think of the divine feminine's comfort and what he feels from that. Self-love came up with number 61. 61 is that 7 of Swords energy, about taking a risk and loving yourself. And then leadership beneath that, which is number 8, and the divine triangle numerology book, 81, is the end of the human cycle. That after 81, as an older person, you get to choose what you want to do. You want to stay or you want to leave. So, and that can have to do with karma in the past as well. If you got over 81, then you could do what you wanted to. But openly holding the masculine, what he holds dear, savings, groundedness, sunshine, exposing all, calm and happy, 2 blue eyes and blue ribbon, blue ray, James Bond on a secret mission in the quiet morning hours in search of his truth, the 2 feathers in his cap and staff, the shaft, the rod, Stuart, sweet wart, so Stuart's coming up as sweet wart or growth, what it means to be the seeker and the master in one, in using that third energy. The boy on a quest, looking outward, and Quasimodo on the castle wall with his light, looking down in quiet contemplation, wisdom to be found, grounding the heights and the depths that he's gone to. The child, the grandparent, and the simple, moderate, grounded monkey, the monk key in the middle, and Goldilocks, Goldilocks, lock and key, the monk and the key to gold, I, the gold coin, the chakra system, locks, the central sun. Okay? So the masculine, key, his staff, shaft, rod, sweet wart or growth, that third energy, the rod of rod and staff of the masculine, is the monkey, the key in the middle, and Goldie locks. She's got the lock, the gold key, the vaginal canal. The monk and the key to the gold, lowercase I, which is the chakra system, that leads up to the gold coin, locks the central sun, your connection together. So that's the union, the physical union. The Groundhog's Day, Hogwarts, Groundhogs was coming up to get me to Hogwarts. And so I don't know anything about the series, okay? So I'm just reading what I read from, Wikipedia.org, but I think it was en.m.wikipedia.org. But Hogwarts was coming up as the wizardry school. So again, I'm not Harry Potter wise. Rowling said, I guess that's, one of the people doing, I don't know if it's the producer or director or whatever, but Rowling said, or the person who wrote it, Rowling said that Hogwarts and Hogwarts, so different spellings of it when they were trying to figure it out, came from the 1954 book, and here we are 54 again, of The Message, the Page of Swords. The book, How to Be Top, and we've been talking about crown this whole page, okay? So the spellings came from the book, How to Be Top, from Jeffrey Willens. And so the school from Harry Potter is for kids 11 to 18 in Scotland with a black lake, the darkness, right? Which is not compulsory to live there. Some are homeschooled. And that comes from the 7th book. It is also a multi-faith school. So as we turn the page, still with Hogwarts, acceptance letters have to come in by July 31st, right prior to Lionsgate. And then they're allowed to have an owl or a toad as a pet. And they have robes and supplies and a broomstick if needed. The first years get there by express. expressing your feelings. So express the hidden platform 9 3/4, which is so funny because 3/4 is the third to the fourth leg of the race. And 9 is the hermit, the wise one that has to let go of the baton to get to the fourth leg of the race. So we have 9 3/4 at King's Cross, the Y in the road, right? King is someone who masters. At the cross road, the Y in the road. King's Cross Station in London. Arrive at Hogwarts after nightfall. Okay, so when darkness hits. The Keeper of Keys. Game and grounds to small boats across the lake, magically. Older students with carriages pulled by the thestrals. So again, it's referencing the carriages coming up, which came up in the read today. And then there's one of 4 houses there, which reference to the 4 seasons and the quarters, based on their abilities, personalities, and preferences. And that was at 12:23. So 12 is the Hangman, 23 is the King of Wands. The Man of Passion, Lion's Gate, 8/8. Okay, so then school can begin. The Divine Masculine is journaling his experience as well, chained to his thoughts and words and his blue ribbon, his sword and pen. Leapfrog, picking a season, and turn and turn and turn. Spring is very messy. There's a lot to clean up in that one. Fall is lonely and wise, and winter is sharp and cold. But oh, those summer nights. Okay, so that's coming up for Grease Lightning. Very different from the 3D heat. The Hermit expresses to the Hermit reversed in energetic exchange arrows of love, hanging out on the T. Toggle up, blast off to unknown places, and sitting before God, which is coming up as Cupid, by the way, where the whole world flashes before your eyes, everything you've ever thought, felt, sensed, and heard. Judgment Day upon us. Self-love is risky business. 61, which is the 7. 6 is lovers, 1 is magician embodiment, and 7 is ascension to your galactic home. So before I go into recently, I'm going to show you around the cards. So that was definitely referencing Hieros again in physical union. All right, so we have the 8 of flames as the underlying energy there. Then we have the indigo card there as the recent past. Then the foundation here, you can barely see him under there, but that's the Knight of Pentacles. In the foundation, the center card is the 2 of Cups, challenged by the 4 of Crystals, which for me in this deck is the Divine Masculine's heart. Then we have the other underlying energies over here where they're upright, where they're not in the rest of the deck. And then we have the crowning is the 6 of Pentacles or 6 of Crystals in this deck. And then bridging over to the near future position, which is the 7 of Flames. And this one's very much about like rising up like the phoenix in this deck. The masculine seeing himself as the 10 of Wands, which is reversed today. And the romance angel cards, you can see there, the wedding's there as well. And reconciliation. And then we have what's around the masculine is the 5 of Flames, which is conflict. It's definitely upright and expansion energies. The blocks he needs to clear, the Temperance card, which was upright energy of the angel. And then we have here at the end, when you see all the orange and blue cards there for the number cards, we have the 2 of Orbs, which is like the 2 of Swords, but it's much more of a floating on air, being in your knowing card in this deck. Then we have the 5 of Swords, which was reversed, the Ace of Wands upright, the 6 of Swords upright, and then the Page of Cups reversed as the big card, and then you see the Page of Cups reversed there as well. But that's really just referencing vulnerability there, so nothing negative. Okay. Whoops, sorry, see my mess. Okay. So we're going to finish off the read, and then we'll get to those 12 cards. All right, so where are we? Recently, the indigo reversed card is like the magician, is coming up as insecure, without tools after the war, or abandoned and destitute, but with grand feelings between the hermit and the hermit reversed, which is exactly a reflection of itself. The Knight of Cups reversed, the Moon reversed, the Nine of Pentacles reversed, is coming up about no love offered, and a deception in that, in loss of power, money, and independence. The foundation for the masculine is the Knight of Pentacles reversed, spreading the word of justice, judgments, or Libra, pain and betrayal. Hanging out on strike, refusing to move or work, or unable to do that, or just stuck amidst others' messages and pain, betrayal, or just back pain or back issues, or a massage, or a message of a massage, or a massage message, like massaging someone's ego. Debts to be settled, a rebalancing in order, because you see the situation involves marriage and hero's game of self-love. Centrally is the Two of Cups reversed, the Page of Pentacles student, or student of the gold coin, or opportunity or an invitation, presents itself from a third party, gossip and or overindulgences, or no social life behind you. The High Priestess, or psychic abilities, secrets, or silence, come forward in a bold move to ascend in Cinderella's chariot as it arrives. The Psychic Warrior, the King of Swords reversed, and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, in disconnect over the loss and regret of a strike and stubbornness. Him stubborn and her disconnected, with the dark spell worker with big feet and ankle bracelets hovering over the disconnect, breaking up the reception through interference and distortion, pretending to drop the facade and break patterns in order to keep the Divine Masculine connected to the abundant family. And that was at 1251, which is the Hangman and the King of Swords, so hanging him out to dry. The challenge being the Four of Pentacles reversed, the Divine Masculine coming out of his heart. So that card in the Seer and Starseed deck for me is very much about the Bat Cave and the masculine within his heart. As we turn the page, we go from 51 to 52, which is the King of Swords and then the Queen of Swords, both hanging out together, reaping rewards while pushed to his emotional limits, forcing his hand to drop burdens and confess being overwhelmed by love. The Messenger of Truth, or the Knight in Shining Armor, which can reference both the feminine and the masculine in those different ways, walking away and within to do shadow work with kids or messages of truth causing frustration. TTs, and temper tantrum or TT is also pie, needing to recenter yourself again, crying and purging and manipulations, and the Page of Wands reversed and the Queen of Cups reversed, back to back, unable to escape the truth, as harsh as it can be at times, the Divine Masculine receiving epiphanies alone after the kids go home, or revelations about a storm, being out on a boat and lightning striking a tower, Ben Franklin and a tower moment. Cancer, Libra, Virgo, Pisces energies were coming up there at the center of the read. The Divine Feminine disconnected until the Divine Masculine corrects the karmic scales. The Dark X tripping up, pretending to break their patterns, erupts when the Messenger of Truth comes out with things that she's been hiding. The Empress reversed at the workplace on strike or fallen from grace, afraid to leap and lacking faith. Dumped or dumped another, dumping everything to find emotional happiness and not settle this time, whether that's the karmic or the masculine. Now is crowning the Six of Pentacles reversed, a loss of money in a big lie or a split, cutting through the BS, and a Leo or ego, or a need for courage to let go of emotional attachments. So dump all your emotional attachments that no longer serve, to complete family cycle and be happy, successful, and lead the way. Sunshine and Hermit, shining light and being wise, coming together at work with a manipulator who's insecure or their tools were stolen, and a Leo lied about it, or a scam artist at work. One with rose pink everything and cleavage to their belly button all the time. So someone who always has at work wears really low, kind of inappropriate cleavage. Big feet and ankle bracelets, not to be trusted. Trying too hard to prove that they're intuitive or psychic because they're not, or not very good at it, or letting go of stuff or savings to fix things, a house, a business, or on a quest to the devil's wave, to make amends and say hi to the one you promised you'd wave to and never did, a romantic encounter to drop the facade of the masculine and show yourself as you actually are and not look or go back. Always patching things up with the devil. No reunion this time when the Empress reversed explodes or gets drunk and wants to have makeup sex. The divine masculine looking back at the third party, the karmic gossip, addictions, and the mean girl behavior, or giving up or surrendering to him just to get money or to get the big payoff. Defenselessness to the infusion of money at work. So the karmic may always know that, if there's any money offer or a new project, that he's always going to go for it because that's his addiction if he's a, workaholic. But a new project offered, a new way for him to work more and then her reap more rewards. Or remembering feeling defenseless, masculine remembering feeling defenseless to an offer of a new life by a third party, a King of Cups energy, unconditional love, and him refusing 10 minutes of his time, refusing help, refusing work, refuse to answer questions, finding peace by letting another take the fall. And that was at 121 and 122. So 121 is the magician and the world, and then 122 is the magician and the fool. So both were reversed today. But it wasn't in a totally negative way. It was more just insecurities, and the fool being, a lot of falls came up in the underlying energy. But it's also just, lacking the faith. And it could be being a fool for love as well. Finding peace by letting another take the fall. Overwhelmed, lacking faith, literally in fear of receiving peace and love. Refusing to meet halfway or see them for who they are. Refusing their servant gold coin because beneath them. Ignoring elitist snobbery mentality who's not even who you are. It's who your group is. And then there's soon for the masculine is the Seven of Flames reversed. Defenseless to fall out of the fire. Sneakiness, half-truths. Coming clean about instability, moving, ending a marriage, or unstable house or structure. Starting over from scratch, overwhelmed, prisoner of their own mind, or hostage in being muzzled by refusal to or a refusal of love, defenselessness and pushed to their emotional limits, ending a family or unhappy family with poor judgment, or deliberating forever to reap rewards of draining your love to avoid losing half of all in a breakup or in debt to begin with. When pushed to the limit, you no longer care what others think. You are unable. The brain dumps when it gets too stressed. Overkill, overfill. Everything starts spilling out everywhere. It's one big mess until you trust and until you have faith. Destiny is slow when school is out, dealing with kids and spreading the word, messages of the high priestess in another world, sealed divine feminine, or waiting for word from Viking princess or Viking priestess of completion, of dumping the whole thing, scrapping and starting over, or divorce decree coming in. Perpetually at the Y in the road until you follow your internal guidance system, your internal GPS. The divine masculine is the 10 of Wands reversed. This is how he sees himself. Dumping all his burdens, confessing and coming out of the basement or out of the dark ages. Breaking patterns with X gangrene. So it's coming up as gang and green, right? So a gang that's green, so that literally is a contradiction, because people who tend to want a green business aren't in a gang. So breaking patterns with X and the gang green, and with abundant family and legacies, and losing money, power, and independence, and being okay with that. Leaving a karmic to her family, or breaking away from a sibling or two who don't resonate with you, as the Queen of Swords speaks of depression and loss of hope in losing money, status, and power, or the divine masculine switches teams, letting the karmic deal with their own family issues and him his, or a depressed Aquarius is taking the masculine down or draining his finances. No more juggling between two families or a family home. Time to make a final break. Let your friends help you. Trust, and that has everything to do with faith. And then reconciliation came up for the divine masculine in the romance angel cards. The Queen of Swords and the King of Pentacles reversed, ending dependence on family or the karmic's family, or breaking up with karmic to make peace with their own parents and family again. Around the divine masculine are 5 flames, which is conflict, fighting, competition, that expansion energy, but of the dark night, walking through the fire, and the wrath of over-isolation or mental disease, and that was at 150. The Empress reversed, purging, crying, stressed, or up at nights, or it could just be a mother with, who's old and has Alzheimer's or whatever. And 150 is the Magician, and 50 of the 10 of Cups. And that can be about finding emotional fulfillment with family and Magician embodiment. The conflict between the Taurus reversed and the Virgo Scorpio reversed, or separately, the Virgo reversed and the Scorpio upright. So it could be 2 or 3 people here in the surrounding energies of the conflict. Or the masculine tired of in-laws taking over their home, or your own family interfering with Aquarius, Queen of Swords, or Aquarius, Queen of Swords is always telling everyone what to do, and family lets them, so now you're all codependent on each other in that way and breaking that pattern. The Divine Masculine is down in the dumps, or literally someone's basement, coming back to the light, and letting all the others fight it out. Like, so they're coming back to the light, and all the others can fight it out if they want, but he's leaving. The masculines need to clear blocks of patience, and not only just being patient, but being too patient when it means not loving yourself first, allowing others to run right over you. In a downturn, a slowdown, or the Queen of Wands sitting on your head, always on you about something, jealousy, insincerity, no love, and living in the past. So the Queen of Wands expressing constantly her unhappiness and lack of satisfaction, or the unhappiness of her father caused her, or his passing, or her irritation with you, masculine, or another Emperor reversed, always sleeping, praying, or meditating, or just laying around all the time. Her always putting you down, or putting you down for liking things of the past, like old music and things that she doesn't like. So the masculine needs to clear any patient issues, whether it's needed to have more patience with people, or stop being so patient with people who don't deserve your patience because it's draining you, which means you're not loving yourself first. So either way, love comes up, rebirth, and then even more so, forgiveness, mostly of yourself, being at the Y in the road, turning around and going back. And masculines may be saying, well, anything's better than just standing still here and no one making a damn decision. Time for the Divine Masculine to make his own decisions for once. No option but to fall, to float in their knowing that all is well, synchronicities and a grand orchestration of heaven in their eyes, standing with open heart in every moment, even when the devil is standing right next to you, or the karmic bull. That's just the shadow of the Capricorn and Cancer offering you a chance to clear your subconscious wounds, to find emotional fulfillment without settling, letting go to fix, repair, make over, or make amends with those who resonate with you, the awakened ones. No options here but to float along until you see an island you like to stop on for a bit and check it out. After the war with the PTSD, a breakup or fall from grace, know your connection. God, source, love, creator is the light. The human avatar suit is the shadow. The game of the cat and mouse, unless you choose to sit it out and be a spectator in the hero's game. New passion ignited to peace, to sailing to calm waters and seas, after rejection, shyness, vulnerabilities, shell-shocked from the war, the twins' abandonment from each other from the very beginning. And this is at 216, which is the High Priestess in the Tower, the human saga. So saggy, so serious. Pleiades, please ladies, be Arcturians, so actor and ions, the pretenders. So the human saga, so saggy, so serious, please ladies, be actor Orions, the pretenders. And we turn the page, it's 217, which is the High Priestess and the Star. The enders, the bookenders, a pair of bookends. Twilight, twin light. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even. They have to start doing their own share of the work. Patient angels, let go of your burdens. The King of Wands reversed and the Page of Cups reversed, tired and vulnerable. The King of Wands is Lionsgate, Page of Cups is March, the Lamb of 3344. Defenseless without option or path before you. Don't turn around. Toggle up to another world with the Divine Feminine, or roll on over to her neck of the woods. Angels defenseless to bleeding hearts around the neighborhood, but no longer falling into that trap, only being authentic to yourself. The Divine Feminine no longer defensive or not choosing a path, just walking around the neighborhood, never nearing the end, holding back passion and third energy until the King of Cups presents itself. Unconditional love, not settling for anyone but themselves, i.e. you. The messenger of truth drained and sick of healing is aligning again, working out details and cracking codes. In the moment, it is what it is. No time like the present, the gift, the present moment. The why, lacking healing and lack, the Empress reversed with a message or child expressing feelings back and forth. Stubborn in protest, and you notice that protest is pro-test. So if you're in protest, that means you like tests. If you don't want to test, then stop protesting. Stubborn in protest, confessing conflicted due to insecurities, not the proper tools, when not seeing eye to eye, afraid of conflict, confrontation. The challenge being letting go of his heart, defenseless to the angel, and indebted to her always, floating on a wing in a prayer, to implosion, the vacuum of energy collected after the war, backpedaling to gain momentum that ignites peace on earth. For the vulnerable, that Page of Cups reversed, the sheep, the meek inheriting the earth, from the Page of Cups, Father, the King of Cups, which is unconditional love. Expressing insecurities, stuck in disconnect, and the inequity, because the Divine Masculine needs to open his heart, come out of the dark and into the flame, away from the fire and conflict, defenseless, i.e. no longer caring what others say or do, just standing by them, ready to walk away as needed until they stand by me too, floating on air, on a wing in a prayer. Stand by me. And that's at 237. 2 is the High Priestess. 37 is the King of Cups, who she's waiting on. So that was really beautiful. All right. So now we're going to get to the 12-card read. And I don't even have to switch the cards because I got my new decks today. So I got a new mini deck. So let's see how we go with the 12-card read. All right, so these are going to be a little slippery for me. I'm not used to them. I already shuffled them, but let's shuffle a little more. So take a deep breath, you guys, for these 12 cards. Excuse me, not the 12 cards, but the 12 signs. I don't have my pointer. All right, so we have the underlying energies up here. This was the bottom of the deck, the Page of Cups. There we go again. It's all about the Page of Cups. Then we had the 4th card down, 3rd, 2nd, and the bottom of the deck. This is Aries going across all the way to Pisces here, and then these are for everyone down here, and I'll get to them in a minute. So first we're going to do Aries, which is the Queen of Cups. Can you see her? All right, so the Queen of Cups is here. All right, so she's very much representative of the Divine Feminine. She's upright and she's loving, nurturing, calm, quiet, intuitive. So let's see what's coming up for Aries. The column is for the fire signs. This is fire, earth, air, and water. So the fire signs have the Empress reversed to the top. So let's see how she plays out, since she was very prevalent in the read today, reversed in a couple different places. All right, so she is coming up as Capricorn or Devil energy, either in separation or broken heart. All right, purging, stressed, up nights. This is someone very much in their codependent and addiction energies. Whether it's an old person who's just got dementia, or whether it's someone in lack, someone who's miscarried, or just someone who's out of control, like, right? Because the Empress is a power person. So if she's reversed, she's not being a nice person, unless, of course, she's sick. Okay, so that's some interesting negative energy that's coming up for the fire signs. So let's see what else comes up. We have the Queen of Cups for Aries. So what's Aries got to do with that? That's interesting what's coming up there. Hold on, these are kind of loose here. Oh, look at that. So the King and Queen of Swords both came up reversed. And then there's a King of Pentacles upright here. Let me see what else. This is coming for Aries. So a lot of players here for Aries. We have the Queen of Cups upright. Another couple who's both reversed. And this, people who are coming up at work as scam artists were coming up. So this could be someone like that. Or it could just be two people who are in negative self-talk. It doesn't have to be bad. Or it can be really bad because they can be really verbally abusive. So the King of Pentacles is upright, though. So he's a good man, you know. He's got a lot of responsibility. He's taking care of other people. All right, so here this goes on. All right, so I don't know if I shuffled enough, but they're coming up. The Queen of Pentacles. I shuffled a lot in this deck, so. So the two knights are coming up with the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles together here. So there's two couples, the King and Queen of Swords, and then the King and Queen of Pentacles. But they're upright and the swords are reversed, and then we have two kids here of this family. So they look like one family, right? So one family with two kids who are older kids. And then this other couple came in, whether they're brother and sister, another couple who came in and scammed them. And then we have the Queen of Cups. So how does she all fit in there? Maybe she referred them to them and she feels bad about it, but she's upright. That's very interesting. There's either way, it's literally all people around Aries. So it's either a lot of family around, a lot of people at work. Where are you today? It's Saturday today, so you don't have to be at work. Maybe you're in a group environment where everybody's great except for the King and Queen of Swords. So everyone's having a fun time there, except they don't want them there because they're like the ones that don't get along with everybody else. Or they're just really negative. They're downers. They're always saying negative things or insulting the others. It definitely could be a family gathering or just hanging out in the neighborhood. And there's two people there you don't really want to hang out with, or somebody came over that you don't want to hang out with. But the Queen of Cups is being very nurturing and loving to everyone no matter what. She may be like mediating two families too. There may be two families, like two couples that need to be mediated. And the kids are involved with the one family as well. That could be for sure. So the Queen of Cups could be mediating between them. Well, let's see what else comes up to bridge over to Aries, because it's just a lot of people. It's kind of hard to see the action taken other than the fact that their mother may be ill or out of control up top, and they don't need to make a decision about what to do with them or what to put them in, or, you know, that could definitely be an issue. Or that both of their parents are failing. The King and Queen of Swords could reference their parents with their brains failing, and the kids are getting together to discuss what to do with them, or just the family. Okay. So now we have Leo with the Seven of Pentacles reversed. All right, so that was just the instructions. Let's see what it says since it came out. I opened them real quick before I came on. So it's reversed, but all I'm seeing is games. And I was just talking about Heroes games. U.S. games, all right, to the Olympics. And it's the Fool, upside down. So I'm getting this is coming out because of the Olympics. Very interesting. Well, that was your message. It has to do with the Olympics. Maybe someone is qualifying for the Olympics in a sport. Olympic qualifiers. So obviously some people out there are going through competition to get to the Olympics, or they probably have to be included by now, you know, to get to the Olympics next year. So look what's coming up here. I definitely need to shuffle some more, but that's definitely the energy of the Olympics, right? If you can make it to the Olympics, first, second, and third place. Perfect. And then the King of Wands, Lionsgate. That's what I said, and that's when the Olympics are. That's confirming that for you guys. All right? Losing your independence here, time, money, right? Especially if you're going to the Olympics, because it costs a lot and you're not making any money until you win and you get that first place. So some family members are expecting to cash in from their child. Very interesting. This is just so perfect. You can't get more perfect than that for the Olympics. So, yeah, someone's definitely trying to get their kid to the Olympics so that they can make money off of them. And it doesn't have to be a family member. It could be their coach, and this could just be the coach and the child, right? trying to get them to the Olympics. I'm going to leave this out for Leo because this is Leo's card. So, and I was talking about Leo when we started talking about that card. So this is, and this definitely was coming up as Leo's Lionsgate. So there's a Leo, King of Wands, who is either a coach trying to get someone to the Olympics or a parent who wants to make money off of that, whether it's the Olympics or something else where they win money or prize for being first place. I was just getting to ballroom dancing. Someone offered a cup of love and or to go dancing or take ballroom dancing classes. Very interesting. Was this upright or reversed? Now I can't remember. Well, for Leo, this Eight of Pentacles is reversed there, but I think it was upright here. So I'm going to put these all out on Leo. Leo may not like their job, and so they're hoping to cash in on whatever this first place or second place prize is, or this could reference the twin flame connection as well, right? With the third energy and an offer of love coming into union, someone wanting to quit their job. All right, so this is someone possibly no longer independent because they want to quit their job when they come into union, working on aligning so that they have enough savings or money so that they don't have to work. So there's all sorts of scenarios coming here with Leo. Very interesting. All right, let's go to Sagittarius, which is down here is the Seven of Swords reversed. So that's either being sneaky, telling half-truths, could be an older mother who's lying, boss, aunt, grandmother, whoever it is, karmic, divine feminine, but someone's lying or sneaking around and telling half-truths, so it's probably not a divine feminine. Or they're now coming out with lies or cheating or stealing that they did. And then we come here where, you know, that's pain and betrayal, so it's coming out. And there's all kind of weird, kind of half good, half bad stuff here. And that's all coming out now in the wash. So Sagittarius, what's coming out? All right, Sagittarius. Lovers, suddenly defenseless to the energies and not expressing feelings back and forth. It's like saying that by no fault of their own, it's delayed. But it's like it's here. So someone feels cheated, like it was here and then it wasn't. Like, now you see me, now you don't. So someone was expecting union, like right now, and then it didn't come in for them. So they feel cheated. That's what I'm getting from right here. But really nice cards. And it's not negative, it's just saying it's delayed. All right. Something to do with... could have to do with needing to deal with a Leo and a Cancer in the family. This is nothing wrong with this. This is beautiful. Like, this is the dream family. And this could be ascension. Needing to be strong for the family. So someone not leaving the family. So the family... It's not that it's negative, it's just that because there are maybe some family issues that Sagittarius needs to take care of, it delayed union for the Sagittarius, or vice versa. The Sagittarius delayed the union. Or you're just defenseless to whatever came in. So something, here's the lovers, and then something shocking or sudden event, or an epiphany came in, rendering them defenseless or helpless to the situation. So they couldn't help it. But things are now delayed. Or by divine intervention, the third energy was cut off between the masculine intervention, so he wouldn't feel it anymore. That could be as well. And I'm going to put these back in, but these are coming up between the Queen of Cups and the Sun reversed. So 2 Leo cards came up here for Sag. Was it there? Didn't I see the Strength card? Yeah, I did. Okay. So actually the Sun and the Moon are coming up here. So they're both reversed, which are both reversed in the deck today. This is, and she was reversed in the deck today. So this is someone just really upset, right? There's no sunrise or no moonrise. There's just being sad, or and can be manipulative because there's deception here. This could be someone who's sick. This person who could, they could be physically sick or mentally sick. As far as deception, or people think that someone's deceiving themselves, right? Like a twin type of thing. Or just crying all day, all night, all day, all night. Crying, 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 depressed. Someone's very depressed in Sagittarius' world. But maybe the worst is over now. All right, let's go on. So either way, this Empress at the top, they can be a mother, or both parents need to be assessed right now to see if they need to be put in a home because you can't deal with them anymore. Families coming together. This definitely has to do with priming a kid for the Olympics, or working really hard now so that you don't have to work later when you come into a relationship or a union or a partnership. Again, first, second, third place, whatever that means, is coming up. The third energy, the coming together of the twins, and the new love coming in. Hip hip hooray is coming up again for the King of Swords. Celebrations for the Man of Passion, but he's coming up under Leo, so that's a Leo male. Or the Leo is the one who wants to stop working, and the King of Swords isn't necessarily a Leo. Either way, the worst is over, just came up for Sag, but this card is up right here, so it could be still going back and forth. There's some difficult but really great energies at the same time with fire. And then we have Earth, that's topped by the Four of Wands reversed, which can just be general instability. It can be a move, it can be an end of a marriage, it can be problems with a house, or going on vacation and staying in another house. It can just be a temporary move, just for vacation. So Taurus is coming up as the Five of Swords reversed with the Queen of Wands, and then the Seven of Swords. Did I say Wands? Swords, Swords, Wands. But, you know, this is like after the war. But this is, you know, lying, cheating, stealing, running away, sneaky energy. Someone who feels very justified in doing that, taking back what's hers after the war. So feeling like the war stole from them, so whether it was a divorce or whatever it is, feeling like after the war, getting back what was taken from them. And then, so someone, before somebody leaves, stealing back what was hers. And they can have to do with thoughts or intellectual property as well. So that's Taurus. So obviously with Queen of Wands, it's Taurus energy with some earth in them, and it's the Two of Cups reversed there. So there's definitely some kind of breakup, or not seeing an eye to eye, or a partnership that breaks up, but making sure they get the intellectual property or something back that just means something to them before they leave. It can have to do with kids going back and forth as well, or just making sure they get something back before they leave. Or someone's leaving or going out of the country, and someone who's supposed to travel runs back at the last minute. They don't want to go. They either want to stay with her, or they're scared to travel. Could be just fear of something. Someone might be scared of dying if they travel. Maybe someone's scared of flying or of a boat. They're afraid to die in the middle of the sea. Afraid of getting stepped on. They may be afraid of horses. Interesting, because I was just looking up, I wanted to go horseback riding yesterday, so horseback riding's coming up for sure. So someone might have had a horse accident before. Somebody might be an equestrian, and been injured before. Yeah. Well, those are some of the different scenarios, but there's definitely a breakup or not seeing eye to eye. Maybe somebody wants them to travel to the Olympics and the other person doesn't want to. It's just not their personality. They don't like being in the spotlight and all that kind of stuff. But there's definitely angelic energy there, patience, Sagittarius, and then Scorpio, or death. Death can just be the ending of something, or dark night. Someone may be in PTSD after Dark Night of the Soul and so afraid that they're going to fall back into it. So the anxiety you get from leaving the house may be overwhelming for them, so they're coming back home. That can be too. Okay, and then the Knight of Wands, and yeah, so it's going out of the house for quick trips because being inspired, but then getting scared, and then needing to come home. Let's go on to Virgo is the Three of Wands reversed. Take a deep breath. And that has to do with, for me, it's looking back or going back to the past, or standing at the Y in the road, not knowing what to do with yourself. Confused in that way, or just living in the past. But there's it's with the Four of Wands reversed. So this is the worst is over and feeling free. Okay, so it's definitely someone's come full circle and is now totally free from the situation, feeling the bliss of the swords dropping out of their back. All right, so that's really positive energy there, actually. It's like looking back for a quick moment to really feel into the bliss of that pain going away and finally being free, 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 free. That's really nice energy, actually. It's like just looking back for one quick moment. Or maybe that for somebody, they feel free when they look back because they're missing someone that they used to know or that they left behind. Or somebody is moving homes. So the same for Taurus. So they could be moving or traveling. If they're splitting up, kids are splitting up the home. That could be for Taurus for sure, because there may be kids in the boat. But for Virgo, it's more about maybe leaving home for the first time. It can be, but moving and leaving a home you've been with for a long, long time. And so looking back one more time about the memories before you go on to your new life. But it's really beautiful energy overall. I mean, these are the next two cards coming up about the Four of Wands reverse, which I'm going to put these two back because too many cards out. But making an announcement or some kind of final judgment or decision came into the masculine, or being called to action, and now they're moving home. So divine masculine could be moving. Okay, and that's definitely for Virgo because we have the Three and the Four of Swords both coming up reversed, just like down there. So a judgment's been made or heard, or an announcement, and this one, somebody's moving, going back. Moving to go back to something they left behind. And then the Two, which is without option. And someone have a final judgment or divorce came through. Can have to do with a settlement on a house as well. Maybe going back to your childhood home if you inherited a home but it needed work or something like that. Or going back to an unstable home without option. Because of a divorce situation, like just going back to your family home temporarily, or just a home that's, needs a lot of work without option because of a divorce situation. But it's ultimately very good. Okay. All right, so then we have, move these up a little bit. Capricorn is the Death card, so it's also Dark Night. So Capricorn's getting the Cup energy. We have the Knight page and the Ten of Cups. Beautiful. It could be two kids, or it could be masculine and feminine as well, but two of very similar energy, one a little bit younger than the other, finding complete emotional fulfillment in death, which is definitely a complete transformation. Could be, have they completed Dark Night of the Soul? It's like they're cheering, like they won, they made it. Okay? They made it. They found their complete happiness on their own by going within. By seeing the King of Cups reversed, they were able to learn the King and Queen, so both twins, the masculine and the feminine, by finding peace on their own and going within, they were able to see the shadow of themselves in order to come into this other, younger, lighter energy. Very cool. So that's definitely death. I mean, if somebody passed, it was good because they were suffering. Because there's all beautiful, emotional, happy energy there. So whatever the transition or death or change of home or vacation or breakup of a marriage, any which way, it's really positive. And then we have the King of Swords down here, who's either really pissed about it because they're happy, or he's just not being in his truth still, or negative self-talk. Like there's all this happiness around him, and yet he's still got negative self-talk, not believing it's real. And these guys are coming out as I'm talking about that. So someone's still grieving, still feeling guilty or shame, either because somebody passed or because of the connection in the 5D and feeling like a prisoner, or that they imprisoned or took hostage someone else. All right, but that can just have to do with someone who passed recently too, especially since there's a death card there. It may have been someone who was suffering a lot, or someone just really old, or someone who's really mean that everybody's happy about that they passed away. Or the ending of a house got demolished, because demolishment came up for a building this past week. So somebody's home might have needed to get demolished, and maybe there's a lot of bad memories with that, so everyone's like happy. It's like a christening, but in the opposite way of taking a house down that needed to, taking a house down. So some of the patriarchy is coming down, and some people are really happy about it. And again, the card that's showing on the bottom of the deck now is that Page of Cups, and the Three of Cups reversed is underneath that, which can be a third party. That can also be gossip and overindulgences, though. Oops, I just lost all the cards. Okay, let's try that again. We have the air signs now. We have the Ten of Cups at the top for air signs. So that's emotional fulfillment or completion of family endings, family cycle endings. Gemini has the Devil reversed. Let's see why. All right, so Gemini has the Ace of Swords, the Knight and Page of Swords. That's a lot of swordy energy, but it's upright. So detoxing, spreading the word, coming in with the truth. That could be Knight in Shining Armor as well. And here's the truth being returned. So there's looks like an equal exchange of energy, because they're younger and this is more dominant. Looks like an equal exchange of energy. Like this is two people giving their truth, and then this is the truth. So kind of back and forth energy, but they're all upright. So definitely some kind of detoxing or coming together to hash it out is the word I'm getting, to find emotional fulfillment. And it could be the Knight in Shining Armor, coming in, wanting to rescue them with a friend or a message sent first, and then rushing in, and then the other person saying, halt, wait, but this is my truth. But either way, there's a lot of positive energy around it, because it could be chaos at first, but then detox and emotional fulfillment comes out of it. Some kind of balance restored. Okay? So the two younger ones that are coming in may be sent away, because they may be two who did something wrong before, and or took from them, and now, or stole at work, so someone is getting fired or put out of the church or whatever the establishment is, and then they're going back to business again. So someone who did something wrong. Or when all is said and done, two who don't care how much money they have. They're just happy that they have each other. Right? So coming out with not as much money here, but they still have the ability to work. So they're okay with leaving this. They don't need to be with that group anymore. So that's Gemini. Let's see what Libra has with the Four of Swords reversed. All right, so Libra's coming up with the Two of Swords, the Abundant Family, the Ten of Pentacles, and then the Strength card, Taming the Beast. Being in their knowing, definitely rising above or not getting sleep, or coming out after having rested enough, but now in their knowing to have the family of their dreams and tame the beast, be strong, and boldly go forward to master, ground, and integrate. There's Leo energy, Cancer energy. There also could be a family coming forward to offer something to this person. Like these could be coming in trying to intimidate this person and offer them this little cup. Look at that. This big, powerful energy. Wanting to get more information. They may want to buy information. Or they may want to like lowball it by not offering anything at all. And just offering friendship or something, expecting them to give them everything or the truth. Or it could just be asking for the truth, and they may be willing to give it or not. It just depends. But now, if they come in like this person's not going to want to tell them anything because they're trying to intimidate them. And this person has the wheel on their side. I'm not getting ultimately that these guys are bad, but they're coming in trying to intimidate this person to get what they want because they may be in fear about something because they don't have all the information. And so they want all the facts. They may be worried that someone's trying to take money from them. Offering them a little bit of love or just friendship, and this person saying, and them assuming this person has nothing, right? Because they're just a simple person by the tree. And this person, them offering friendship, which they're probably not even planning on doing. Obviously, they're busy if they have all this going on. And this person is saying, no, that's all right. I have plenty of friends already. I don't need another one. Not what that kind of friend again. But this person has the wheel on their side. So very interesting. But it's just like saying no. And it could be people you've dealt with before that you're coming out with them and want to tell them, or people who you dealt with before you don't want to deal with anymore because you don't resonate with them, and it's difficult to turn them away because they're trying to offer friendship or something, but you have to say no because you know that you don't agree with the way they do things. That could be coming up for Libra. And again, it has to do with family at the top. So it could be family that someone had to walk away from. And the rest of the family trying to, use their power to get them back. Or they weren't loving before at all, and now they're trying to give love or pretend to give love. So they'll come back, so they'll do the work for them. That's the kind of energy I'm getting, definitely divine masculine type stuff. But it could be anyone. It could be someone who's just hanging out and they think that they need work or something, and they're help when they're fine. They have everything they need. They're just waiting for their love to come, and they're not offering love, that kind of stuff. Anyway, I just want to show this. So someone hanging out, waiting for their twin, and sad because they come back maybe proposing, or it could be fear of that someone's just going to propose business or something. Someone who's, spent all this time, sunrise, sunset, waiting, and then for nothing, or for very little anyway. That's the feeling I'm getting from that. But overall, there's nothing wrong, okay? There's very powerful energies there, and it just could be the way the things need to play out right now to find emotional fulfillment. All right, so again, if it's not fulfilling, don't accept it. Is this the life that you want? No. Is that the life that you want? No. Look at that. Is that the life that you want? This is somebody's work or a family business. There's nothing good there. Depression, deception, illness. And the Empress, who's the boss of all of this, and that's why all these people are like this. So that could be that Empress reversed. She could be a false prophet as well. I'm getting the High Priestess right after her. So this has to do with some kind of group situation where nobody who's working at the group is happy. This could have to do with the first, second, and third place too. Like there's always a pecking order. And the Empress is always the boss. And this could either be her energy or a friend's energy. And they are upright, but I'm not getting this is not happy, right? That's not a happy situation. This is a work group or some kind of gathering, whether it's church or school or a creative place, where this person is like, the principal or the head of the group, the boss. And this could be her and saying, that she knows everything, so you have to listen to me. Or it could be a friend who she says is always feeding her information, so you have to listen to her advice. But none of the group is happy about it. So that's kind of weird energy. And that's coming up at Libra. That could be some of the scamming energy too that came in, right? That the Empress brought in these two, which are upright. But they may have looked good on the surface. But were they really? Did you end up... Let's see. It just could have ended a situation where it ended up not the worst, but they may be deliberating on how to go forward to a next project too. And none of these guys are on board with what the Empress wants to do and the High Priestess. And then we have the Magician. It could be too the masculine wanting to come together with the feminine, and the rest of his family doesn't agree with it, so he has to leave. But this is, you know, he'll have home and some money, but he won't have what he had before. But he doesn't care, so that's good too. All right, so now let's go to Aquarius. Aquarius has the Eight of Pentacles. I'm sorry, this is the Seven of Pentacles up here. I was thinking it was the Eight. So that's about implementing a new plan for Leo, going forward with something or strategizing something. But again, that had to do with trying to get their kid into Olympics or something. Or some kind of pecking order. But it also had the Eight of Pentacles here. So that's connected to Aquarius, Leo. So what's Aquarius got? And we got the Queen of Wands there at the bottom of the air signs too. So that's connected to Taurus. There's Taurus again. So this is about sharing with an Empress or Taurus, but it's Aquarius. So it could be Aquarius with Taurus in their chart. And then we have, you know, she was in Taurus. So it's definitely could be the same person. Somebody who's working to align and share what she has. Maybe be a philanthropist. Somebody wants to be a philanthropist. That's their call. They want, you know, their calling. They don't want to do any of the work. They want to be the philanthropist, but she's an Empress, so she can do that if she wants to. And then this is the doing it under the radar. Holding back money or new life. Oh, so that's not good. So this is an Empress who wants to look like they're being charitable, but not really. Like doing it under the radar. So not really giving any money. Wanting to magnetize their money by giving away money. So they may be trying to practice manifestation of money by giving things away. But remember, that doesn't work unless you're being authentic to what you want to give to. So this is, you know, this can be bad news. This can be feeling like a failure. It can be, you know, no attention. It also can be being needy of attention. So pretending to offer money or to be charitable or tell people that you give to this and that, but not really doing it. Yeah, so that's not, or like I said, or someone's just working on how to manifest money by being more charitable. Or holding back a new life, staying under the radar, giving to others while trying to align. So it can just be as simple as that, just wanting to stay out of the limelight right now before a new life, trying to save money. But it is the Empress, so she has everything. Or that can just represent a Taurus who's not Empress, but it's just a Taurus person who's working, who needs to save money. Oh, it's someone who's Taurus who likes to look like they're the Empress, but they're not. So they're always giving to people, this Aquarius Taurus energy, but it may not even be their money. It may be their husband's money, or just someone who doesn't have a lot of money but likes to look like they have everything. So they spend a lot of money on clothes and stuff like that. Yeah, it's not great energy there. Okay, so we have the Hangman, and then the Five of Wands reversed, and the Ten of Wands upright. So it's kind of like hanging out, trying to see another perspective after fighting, trying not to want to fight anymore. So this could be someone who is normally combative, but is really resisting. They feel really burdened by not fighting and hanging out. This one's like someone who's not following their guidance. They're resisting the changes. They're hanging out and trying to be wise. I'm getting like definitely double energy here. It's like someone doing all the right things but not doing it from the right intention. After the fight, picking up the burdens again, or resisting the changes, or just hanging out under the radar so that they don't start any fights, but it's making them nuts because they want to fight. We've got the Queen of Wands here with the Empress. We're definitely connected to Taurus energy. Let's see what else comes up. She may be tempted to fight with this person that's trying to hold back because of the war that happened. They don't want to start the battle again. This is someone who's inspired, but also on the lookout, defensive of whoever's up behind their back, right? He's looking over his shoulder at her. And he's being present. So his energy is correct, right? He's letting go of this stuff, but not giving up completely. Being inspired to be present more and choosing a new path. And she doesn't like it. And she's like, she's trying to hold back. That's Aquarius energy. Yeah, see, then we have right under Aquarius is uninspired or wanting to have a temper tantrum. The opposite, right? So it's like the shadow of a masculine in a karmic sense. The bottom of the earth signs was the Knight of Swords, so that's either holding back an announcement of a move or travel or end of a marriage, or it's verbal abuse. And someone went through family trauma about that and maybe revisited the past to clear some of that and hasn't come out with that information yet. And again, we have the Taurus, the Empress reversed for all of the fire signs, and then the Tower at the bottom, so some kind of explosion or epiphany. Something's coming, if it hasn't already, and she's ready to explode, so she's over there. Very interesting. And she is fire. She's ready to explode. This could be her. This could be that person, the Empress, Aquarius, Taurus, exploding, verbally abusive, like coming after somebody, and this person ready to fight physically. Could be a kid too, or it could be two kids getting a fight. It could be her kids or her. There's a Page of Cups here too, so there could be 3 kids involved here. Then we have the water signs, the world. The world reversed is up top. All right, so let's just go to Cancer, which is the 9 of Pentacles upright, which is beautiful energy. That's in your sovereignty, a single person, like it's the single dream. You have everything you need. All the beauty that you need around you. And this is referencing more of a masculine energy. Or that she's independent from the patriarchy. So that's either because the masculine is like this, completely independent, like the single person's dream, or because it's the female who's detached herself from this energy. And you see the jugglers there, and there's 2 guys here. So we have the establishment and then the Emperor missing the Justice card, because that's the 3rd red coat. This could definitely be after someone left, trying to juggle the duties of the 3rd person, or just that she, that independent female, is juggling these 2. Like she's a you know, an opportunist. She's going after the really super wealthy to juggle them, and that's how she made her money, like that. Or somebody could be rumoring that about her. But the world's upside down, so a cycle needs to complete, or it could be someone, a twin. It can definitely reference divine feminine sealed in another world, that people are seeing them like that and trying to figure out where she got her money from or something like that, or how she became independent. This is someone, you know, who's abandoned or left out in the cold. It could be that these 2 left her out in the cold. They think they left her like this, but then now she's like that. I'm like, how'd that happen? right? So saving money. Or that these two got booted and they're left out in the cold. Maybe a business closed and those two big guys got booted. They got left out in the cold, but now they're stabilized. That the Nine of Pentacles there can represent a child, but it can represent anyone. It can even be that Empress. Somebody got kicked out of a church. These guys could be the ones who kicked them out, or they could be the ones that got kicked out. I was just saying performance artist. Or like I said, they could be scam artists. Or they're just politicians or leaders who went down because they were, you know, up to no good. Because he's performing because there's some kind of hokey business going on behind them. So they could have been some patriarchy families or, you know, people in public who were taken down. They might have been, you know, siphoning money off to the side. There's some kind of energy like that coming up for Cancer. So, but someone, this person's good. The feminine energy is good. The masculine energy is the one that looks kind of questionable. Or she was juggling those two guys. And then she lost both of them. Okay, but that's feminine energy juggling two guys. Like if she's an opportunist, she was juggling two men. And then lost them both. Or she left them both out of the cold. And it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be in business. But she found out that they weren't on the up and up. And then sent them away. And that can definitely reference to these guys coming forward and making the power play at Libra to somebody else. That could be the same guys making a power play to the person under the tree, grounding and integrating. That could be that sovereign. But it's definitely about trying to come full circle with something. And can have to do with the divine feminine. Or maybe somebody wants to know their secrets. There's definitely some, you know, hiding there. People are hiding stuff. Somebody got fired or somebody got kicked out of something. So now we're going to go to Scorpio. Scorpio's doing great lately. I'm getting a lot of positive for Scorpio, even when everybody else is kind of crazy. So Scorpio's got the Seven of Wands, standing up for themselves without being defensive. Scorpio's inspired, possibly to a new job or coming together with a group, maybe a new project, or getting honored for something. Could be a child as well. This is referencing home and business. And heaven in their eyes. It's like they got it all. They got the home, the good job, all the things they could want for. Standing up to others without getting defensive. So maybe people are seeing how good they have it, and they're like, they're trying to get some of it, and they have to fend them off. Could be someone with a lot of options, you know. Could be a good-looking guy. He's got a home and a good-looking guy. He's got a home and a business. Lots of options, whether it's just options of what they love and their activities or options in women. And vice versa. Could be either way. But they're fending off people. They're standing up for themselves and trying to keep everybody away from them. They're inspired to something. There's something specific they're inspired to. So just maybe it's just to maintain their home and their workplace or their creation, their creative place. But they're seeing, or about a masculine seeing synchronicities everywhere. No matter whether they're home or it's at work or school, no matter where they are, they're seeing synchronicities everywhere which inspire them. And they know now to fend off others because they know that's their twin. It's like this is their twin crying, but also shedding light on their own journey. And here's the divine masculine protecting them, but she may not be aware that he is. So that can be that Aries Queen of Cups too, up top there. Doesn't have to be. She's reversed over there and upright over there. And then Pisces is the journeyman. We have the Six of Wands there. Sorry you can't see it, but so the journeyman's upright, and then we have the Knight of Cups right underneath the water signs, which is an offer of love. So that's really nice. So let's see what Pisces has. All right, this is Pisces. So there's definitely deliberations there, or this could be finalization of a court or a divorce where it wasn't in your favor, Pisces. But this is in your favor for sure. And this is Libra and Aquarius energy around you. Scorpio had Virgo energy there. And Cancer was Taurus and Aries energy, as well as the world at the top. So for me, that's Pisces. So this is for Pisces. So this is definitely Pisces energy for me. So it could be just Pisces with a Libra and or Aquarius. This could be Libra with Aquarius moon or something like that, or they could be two separate people. But leading the way, getting attention, being successful. Or just getting good news. But it's more about love, right? Because this is about someone who's been deliberating, and it could be a boyfriend who's been deliberating a long time and finally made up their mind or finally got divorced to come together. This could definitely be a union for someone. So that's for Pisces, but it looks like good news and an offer of love. Really nice. Let's see what else was coming out here. Yeah, magic being made by staying present and choosing a path. The twin path. All right, so there's some really positive energy there for you guys. So then, the bottom of the deck, we end on the High Priestess there with the Seven of these are the cards at the bottom as we end this. And I just want to tell you these under cards, which I told you these bottom four here, that's about a very painful ending and or betrayal. It could just be back pain. I get this for getting massaged sometimes as well. And then the King of Swords, not in their truth, or it could be a cutthroat lawyer or cutthroat anyone, someone who's, you know, if they're reversed, he's verbally abusive or not talking at all. Or like I said, it could just be some kind of law. It could represent paperwork and that kind of stuff as well, legal stuff that you don't want to do. And then the Queen of Pentacles, so those two could be on the outs, the King of Swords and the Queen of Wands, and she could be the Empress reversed as well, or associated with the Empress reversed, who could be her mother, which has definitely come up in the reads before, where the karmic and her mother are the Empress and the Queen of Wands. And then we have an offer of love made. This could be someone where these two are their parents as well. Okay, so water sign with these parents who are going through a lot of pain, whether it's because of a death or a breakup. And then somebody else offering love, whether it's one of these two or not, could be a child as well. And then we go down to here, and this was the underlying energy. So these could be siblings. And then we have a tower moment. So that could be a big explosion, a fight, some kind of drama, or just some kind of big event that happens, right? A fallout where somebody's holding back the announcement about it or coming in really abusive. This is part of the fight. This definitely looks like a fight, whether it's two kids or two older people acting like kids. This is one being verbally abusive, the other one more ready to be physically abusive. And then we have this person coming by, la 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 la, la 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 la, and seeing those two fighting. That's so funny how the cards are like this sometimes. You have the tower next to these two guys, right? They're on a fight, and then this guy, coming along. Oh, there's a fight. Someone opening their heart and speaking their truth, or because of their presence and their energy being a twin energy, breaking up the fight. Someone going to prison for choosing the wrong path, or this is someone choosing the right path and to free this prisoner with their truth, to offer some truth. This is when this person offers their truth, it frees them. This could be the same person, where they just got, this could be this person over here, where this truth was offered from those two fighting. And then it got, you know, he got this, the truth was coming, got free, and then wandered off. And then the truth is being passed on to others to free them as well. Or because this person down here chose a new path. Now you can't always free someone. This is also saying you can offer freedom to somebody else, but if they're not willing to take it, you can't force them to. You know, you can't force a sword down their throat, right? But you can offer your help, and if not, then free yourself and just let go of the situation. If they want to kill each other, that's their issue. It's basically what that's saying. If they want to fight and there's nothing you can do about it, well, then just happily go on. As the fool goes, I'll go hang out with this person. Right? So you have to help yourself first. You can offer guidance to others on how they can help themselves, but ultimately it has to come from them. But there's definitely truth coming in where actually, you know, twins freeing each other from the ties that bind. If not offering love at this moment, at least freeing them so they don't feel like they're in a prison anymore. Or if someone making amends for some wrongdoing that was done before in the past, so this could be in the past, and fixing that situation. All right, guys, I'm going to get going. It is 1:56 already. 26. That's the Two of Swords and then the Page of Swords. Needing to know more information. Be in your knowing and be inspired. Drink your water. Get your rest. Be joyful. Rise and be loved, guys. Bye.